Hey everybody, welcome back to James Draws Everything. Continuing today with drawing every country in the world's flag. And which flag are we drawing today? Well, today, my man, we're going to be doing Pakistan. All right, my man or my woman. Do I have any female followers on this channel? I don't know. Is this female-friendly content? Drawing flags? Either way, we're drawing Pakistan today. And this country, South Asia, I almost said Southeast Asia there, always has a kind of wild and crazy history that sort of surprises me every time I decide to drop by into this region and pay him a visit. And Pakistan is no different. This place is probably a little bit more important than it's sort of given credit for. And I think it's definitely more newsworthy than it's given credit for, because this place in India, right? India neighbors Pakistan. A lot of shared history there for various reasons. There's some schisms, right? And yeah, for various reasons, these two countries are frequently threatening each other with nuclear war, right? And you think that would be bigger news than it actually is, but yeah, it's on like page 4 usually of the news whenever. So I don't know what that says about Pakistan. I think it says more about our media and our news cycle than anything else. But yeah, I'm trying to get this moon just right here. Let's see. So Pakistan, like a lot of these Islamic countries, right? They got the old Lucky Charms box out for the flag, right? The stars and the moons. No hearts and clovers though. So James, I think again, it's been a while, but I think maybe you're going to be kicked out of another country after this episode with the way you talk about Pakistan. And I'm okay with that, because I don't plan on visiting Pakistan probably ever. But just because I don't plan on visiting them doesn't mean I can't tell you a little something. So, James, yes, what can you tell me about Pakistan? Well, I can tell you a thing or three, or maybe even 5 or 6. I can tell you a few things. So, this land, again, we surprisingly, we haven't done India yet. So, it's going to have a lot of crossover with Indian history, because kind of racially, it's sort of the same people. A lot of overlap there, but yeah. So set that reminder. Don't forget, always like, comment, and subscribe. But set those reminders for whenever I drop a new episode, so that you get India. It's coming within the next month. I swear, guys. I got less than 30 flags to go, so you're gonna get India sooner rather than later. And you can cross-reference these episodes and correct me where I'm wrong, or I mean where my research assistants are wrong, right? Because all the bad stuff on this channel is their fault, and everything I get right, that's all me. So, James, again, you got sidetracked there for a second, which I usually do. What can you tell us about Pakistan? And don't get sidetracked this time. Well, I can tell you a little something. Didn't I already say that? Okay, so get to the point. The Indus Valley civilization, right? It's one of the oldest civilizations in the world. So, kind of Pakistan and India, they sort of claim this as like part of their heritage. So a lot of very early examples of planned cities, right? And like as far as like where the important locations go, like early urban development, right? Early I don't know if they had early HOA foundations, possibly, but one thing they did have, they had early drainage systems, right? So getting rid of sewage and stuff like that. And James, I know. I'm sorry, I can't help myself. But yeah, they figured that out thousands of years ago. Why can't they do that today? Anyways, yeah, that was at least 5,000 years ago. It spread over what is mostly modern day Pakistan, but then into kind of modern day India as well. And during the second millennium, they kind of start like fusing their cultures with a lot of Arab peoples, right? So the tale as old as time, right? Different civilizations kind of invade, their cultures mix, they do it again, the cultures mix, somebody else comes in late to the party, the cultures mix. So all sorts of different people have invaded and influenced this place throughout the years. Persians, Greeks, Arabs, Afghans, Turks, much later on the Mongols too. But you really start to see like the Pakistan identity sort of develop when the Arabs arrive, because they bring Islam to this country, right? So Pakistan, you can already tell from the flag, right? Spoiler alert, moon, star, you know it's an Islamic country. But India, right, was majority Hindu, right? So with all these kind of religious differences that always cause a little bit of friction between India and Pakistan. And the Pakistani empire kind of reaches its high point in like the 16th and 17th century, right? So it's kind of like a golden age for Pakistan. But the British arrive in the 18th century, right? So we'll probably talk about this a little bit more during our India episode, because the British in South Asia, it's kind of more relevant to that. Not to say that it's not relevant to Pakistan, but the fact that this was all just kind of considered India at that point in history, we'll talk about that more with India. So the British East India Company, right? It is a colony, but it's more of like a corporation, right? So they're getting hot and heavy on that spice trade. All those amazing spices coming out of this region of the world. The British, way over there in Europe, they could smell it all the way over there and said, I want me some of that tiki masala. So they sent some ships, and the rest is history. And the British also, we've talked about this in many episodes, right? Israel, they did this. The Pacific Ocean, they did this. Even in South America, to a lesser extent, but even there. The British were like the masters of massive relocations of people, right? So you got these Hindu Indians and these Muslim Pakistanis, right? So they're basically the same people, but there's that religious difference, right? So after years and years of like kind of a cultural divide, they're basically separate people. So the British decide to they set up kind of like getting on a ride at the circus or the state fair or something, right? You got a line A and line B. They're like, all right, all the Muslims, you go in line A, all the Hindus in line B. And they said, well, wait, we actually live here, and we, but we're not Hindu, but, And the British said, you know what, we don't care. Everybody has to go back in the box where they belong. And that's kind of how Pakistan was created, right? So, sort of a British colonial, sort of imperialistic project. I'm using the wrong marker here. Or am I? Uh-oh. Is my marker dying? That's not good. Oh, man. I was hoping all my markers would survive this journey. right? We're so close to the end. You can't start dying on me now. But speaking of dying, there was a lot of that going on, as you could imagine, during this great partition and population mass relocation. There's a lot of resentment, right? Because when you try to put people in box A and box B, there's no neat way to do that. There's always going to be somebody upset that they have to move, or somebody upset, it's ancestral heritage that they have to leave their home and whatnot. You see it in Israel and Palestine. You see it in Fiji and a lot of places where the British did this. So it's no different here. The partition happened post World War II because the British starts losing control of their empire, right? So they're giving up all of their territorial possessions as a result of World War II because they're basically bankrupt. And it forms a British India and then a Muslim state of Pakistan. But not just Pakistan, right? So there's a West and an East Pakistan. So the East Pakistan is what we now know as Bangladesh, right? And then India is allowed to remain mostly Hindu. But again, a lot of tension between all those countries, all three of them. They fought a couple of wars in the late 40s, the 60s, and then even as recently as 1999. There's a disputed Kashmir territory, a dispute that really hasn't been resolved yet, like even to this day. So there's still, a lot of the nuclear war talk and all that stuff popping off. It's kind of a result of that. And in the 70s, there was another war, and that's kind of where India assisted an indigenous peoples movement that were reacting to Bengali marginalization in Pakistan, the East Pakistan province or state or whatever you want to call it. And that's kind of what created Bangladesh, right? So Bangladesh became its own country, right? Not an East and a West Pakistan with like a giant India in between, right? It's kind of hard to run a country when, you're not really geographically unified. So that's how that place started. And again, these are Pakistan, India. Kind of hard to separate them, right, historically, because there's so much shared history, but then so much different as well. So still to this day, they may or they may not pop off World War III. God only knows, right? But yeah, I don't know if I'd call them superpowers. They're definitely two of the most populated countries in the world. And when they start threatening each other with nuclear war, I think the rest of the world should probably pay attention, because that's not small fries, right? That's not unimportant. So they've been kind of engaging in their own nuclear tests, right? Since like the late 90s, which kind of should scare the rest of the world. But yeah, that's the history of Pakistan. Again, hard to talk about it without talking about India. But Pakistan, to this day, still they have a lot of armed conflict with like a lot of terrorist cells that are active in their country, and just trying to keep the ship steady, I guess. So with that said, Mr. James, yes, I have a question for you. Go ahead. What does that flag of Pakistan mean? You didn't listen to the beginning episode? I already told you. Well, can you tell me again? Because you always do this at the end of the episode. Okay, all right. I'll try. So, it's green, right? Well, you can see that, obviously. It's green with a moon and a star. Hold on, I'm getting there. The moon and the star, right? That represents Islam. The green is a traditional Islamic color. And the star represents the 5 pillars of Islam, right? So, not Hindu, this is Islam. So this is like India, but Islam. So that is Pakistan. And let me know what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I will catch you on the next video.